Good morning. I'm Michelle McNabb, Librarian Manager of the Family History and Genealogy Center at the Danish Immigrant Museum in Elkhorn, Iowa. This is part 7 of Paulus Falk's recollections of attending Elkhorn College about a century ago. It is the summer after the school year, and Paulus has spent the months laying drainage tile up near the Minnesota line. We ran out of work sometime in September, and I returned home, as I knew I could get work of some kind there until corn picking time. I got a job right away with a county bridge contractor constructing bridges over small streams. The contractor supplied a tent, cots, grub, a kerosene cook stove, and dishes. We supplied our own bedding. The foreman did the cooking, and the rest of us took turns at doing the other kitchen chores. We were 4 men on the job. I got $2.50 a day and paid $2 per week for my board. After corn picking, I helped Father cut quite a stretch of willow hedge for stove wood. This helped to cut down on the coal bill at home. The farmer for whom I picked corn secured the hedge for Father and loaned us a team and wagon to haul the wood home. When we had completed this, I took a job as a section hand on the NWRR, the Northwestern Railroad. I got 15 cents per hour and worked a 9-hour day, and my room and board had to come out of this. I boarded at home and paid my parents only $2 a week, which indeed was very easy on my finances. I continued with this until the ground thawed out, then I went back to ditching. That year I worked with Rasmussen as a full partner, with 3 men working for us. Later on that summer, Rasmussen and I split up, and 2 of the men and I went into Minnesota and took a subcontract on a county drainage job. This lasted a month or so. By the 1st of October, 1912, my sister returned to Elkhorn College to complete her academic course. That year there was a new head of the college, Mr. A.P. Jewell. Reverend Laursen had resigned to accept a call from the Pella Danish Evangelical Congregation in Omaha. A bit of good fortune awaited Frida when she returned to the college. An elderly widow who lived just across from the campus wanted one of the girls from the college to stay with her as a companion and to help her with the household duties on Saturdays, and Frida got the position. This then left only the tuition expense for her. At corn picking time in 1912, I was back with the same farmer for the 3rd time. We got started a little earlier than usual, and I now had 2 years' experience under my belt, so we finished that job about the middle of November. I had been toying somewhat with the idea of going back for another winter term at Elkhorn, and my sister had been urging me to come. As it happened, another farmer, also a member of Father's congregation, had about 2 weeks left of corn picking, and as his son was getting tired of it, he asked me to help. They thought we could clean it up in a week or so. One day at mealtime, Mrs. Jorgensen asked me if I was going back to Elkhorn for the winter term. I replied that I had not yet made up my mind, and she then told me that Louis, their son, would like to take in the winter term at the college, but did not want to go alone. So I asked Louis right there if he would go if I went, and we could room together. He took me up on it right away, and that settled my vacillation in going back for another winter term. We left Jewell several days before the winter term began in order to have somewhat of a choice of a room. When we got up to the college, we met my old friend Gerhard Kierkegaard in the hall, waiting for the class bell to ring. After the bell rang, Louis and I went up to the 2nd floor to my old room, but it was occupied. We went around to the north wing, where we found a nice room with a window to the south. A fire escape was located at the end of the hall, so we were only 1 room away from it. That was the room we took, and we left our suitcases there. We'll continue with Paulus Falk's story in a few weeks. I'm Michelle McNabb from the Danish Immigrant Museum. Ha' det godt i dag.